The massive crystalline warship entered Earth's orbit like a tear in space itself. Its blue-black surface caught the light of the sun and broke it into 1,000 colors. The ship was called the Midnight Tier, and it belonged to High Admiral Nalari Vex of the Cerulean Empire. Earth's orbital station hummed with nervous energy. Humans had only been part of the galactic community for 15 years. The arrival of such an important alien was a big deal. Everyone knew about Nalari Vex. They called her the untouchable star across 7 galaxies. She had turned down more than 300 marriage offers from the richest and most powerful alien families. Some said she was too proud. Others whispered she could not feel love at all. But no one knew the real reason. Olivia Reed checked her uniform one last time. At 35, she was one of Earth's best diplomats for alien relations. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun and her blue eyes were sharp and alert. Today, she would be the first human to greet the famous Admiral Vex. Remember, her boss told her, the Cerulans value calm and dignity. No sudden movements. No excessive smiling, Olivia nodded. She had studied Cerulean customs for weeks. Still, reading about aliens was very different from meeting them. The docking bay doors opened with a soft hiss. Nalari Vex stepped out and Olivia had to stop herself from gasping. The Cerulean Admiral stood nearly 7 feet tall. Her skin was deep blue and seemed to glow from within, with patterns of light moving under the surface like living tattoos. Her eyes were pure silver with no pupils. She wore a uniform that looked as if it was made from the same crystal as her ship. It flowed around her body like water frozen in time. High Admiral Vex, Olivia said with a formal bow. Earth welcomes you and the Cerulean Empire. I am Olivia Reed, your diplomatic liaison during your stay. Nalari's silver eyes fixed on Olivia. Something flickered in that metallic gaze, surprise perhaps. The patterns of light under her skin pulsed faster for a moment. Liaison Reed, Nalari said. Her voice was like music with an extra note humans could not quite hear. The Cerulean Empire is pleased to strengthen our ties with Earth. As they walked from the docking bay, Olivia noticed Nalari's gaze returning to her again and again. It made her nervous. Had she done something wrong already? Your species is young in space, Nalari said suddenly. Yet you adapt quickly. It is interesting. Olivia wasn't sure if that was a compliment. We try our best, Admiral. We have much to learn from older civilizations like yours. Indeed, said Nalari. But she said it in a way that made Olivia think there was much more behind that single word. The welcome ceremony was held in the station's grand hall. Representatives from Earth's government made speeches about friendship and cooperation. Nalari stood still as a statue, only the moving lights under her skin showing she was alive at all. When it was her turn to speak, Nalari stepped forward. The room went silent. For 10,000 years, the Cerulean Empire has watched the stars. We have seen civilizations rise and fall. We have fought wars and made peace. Now we come to Earth not just as allies, but as... She paused, and her silver eyes found Olivia in the crowd, as seekers of a new path forward. Later, at the reception, Olivia kept busy making sure everything ran smoothly. The food had to be right for both humans and Cerulans. The music could not be too loud for sensitive alien ears. The temperature had to be just so. She was checking the climate controls when she felt someone behind her. Olivia turned to find Nalari Vex standing much closer than was normal for Cerulean protocol. Liaison Reed, Nalari said. You work very hard for this event. It's my job, Admiral, Olivia replied, trying not to show her surprise. Tell me, said Nalari, her voice dropping lower. Have you ever left your planet? Twice, Olivia said. Once to the Mars colony and once to the Jupiter station. Nalari made a sound like crystal bells. It took Olivia a moment to realize the Admiral was laughing. So close to home, Nalari said. The universe is vast beyond your imagination, Liaison Reed. Perhaps one day you will see it. Before Olivia could answer, one of the Cerulean Council members approached. He was shorter than Nalari, but just as blue, with patterns under his skin that moved in strict, regular lines. Admiral, he said, bowing, the Earth officials wish to discuss the trade agreement. Nalari nodded, but her eyes stayed on Olivia for an extra moment. We will speak again, Liaison Reed. The night went on without problems. Earth officials and Cerulean visitors talked and even seemed to enjoy each other's company. Olivia was just starting to relax when her communication device buzzed. It was from Earth's defense system. 3 unknown ships have entered the solar system, the message read. Energy signatures masked. not responding to hails. Olivia looked up at the happy crowd. No one else knew yet. She had to find her boss and then alert the Cerulean delegation without causing panic. She was making her way across the room when Nalari appeared at her side. "You received the alert," the Admiral said. It wasn't a question. "How did you—" "They are Vespari ships," Nalari said. Her voice was hard now, all music gone from it. "They have followed us here." "Vespari?" Olivia had read about them. An aggressive species, ancient enemies of the Ceruleans. "They believe humans are weak," Nalari said. "They see Earth as the soft underbelly of our new alliance." Her silver eyes flashed. "They are wrong." Alarms began to sound throughout the station. The party broke up as people rushed to their posts. Nalari's hand caught Olivia's arm. "Stay close to me," the Admiral said. "The Vespari will target Earth's representatives first, especially those important to—" She stopped herself. "Important to what?" Olivia asked. Nalari's skin pulsed with rapid patterns. "Important to the Alliance," and she said. But Olivia sensed there was more to it. As they hurried from the hall, Olivia looked back at the large windows showing Earth below and the stars beyond. In the distance, she could see 3 dark shapes moving against the stars coming closer. The Vespari had arrived, and somehow Olivia knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The morning after the Vespari ships were spotted, the station was on high alert. Earth's defense ships surrounded the station like a protective shield. The midnight tier had moved into position beside them, its crystal weapons glowing with blue energy. Olivia had barely slept. She kept seeing those 3 dark ships in her mind. The Vespari had not attacked yet, but everyone knew they would. It was just a matter of when. She was called to an emergency meeting with both human and Cerulean leaders. When she entered the room, she noticed something strange. All the male human diplomats were seated on one side, looking confused. Nalari Vex stood at the head of the table, her silver eyes fixed on Olivia. "Liaison Reed," Nalari said, "I have requested that you serve as my personal liaison for the duration of this crisis." The station commander, a stern woman named Linda Carter, looked uncomfortable. "Admiral Vex, this is unusual. Normally we would assign someone with more security experience for a situation like this." "I am aware of your protocols," Nalari said. Her voice was firm. "But Cerulean tradition allows me to choose my liaison." "I choose Liaison Reed." Olivia saw the other Cerulean council members exchange glances. One of them, an older male with deep green patterns under his blue skin, leaned forward. "Admiral," he said in their musical language, which Olivia's translator picked up. "This is not our way. For 1,000 years we have worked with male representatives from other species. It is safer, given our biology." Nalari answered in the same language, but her words came too fast for the translator to catch everything. Olivia heard only fragments. "My choice and the signs are clear." The council member sat back, his skin patterns showing what looked like alarm. Commander Carter cleared her throat. "Very well. Liaison Reed will be your personal contact. Now about the Vespari threat." The meeting continued, discussing defense plans and evacuation routes. But Olivia found it hard to focus. Why had Nalari insisted on her? And what had she said to the council member that made him look so shocked? After the meeting, Nalari asked Olivia to join her on a tour of the midnight tier. As they walked through the crystal corridors of the alien ship, Olivia gathered her courage. "Admiral, may I ask you something?" "You may ask anything," Nalari replied, her silver eyes glinting. "Why did you choose me as your liaison?" The Cerulean Council seemed upset by it. Nalari was quiet for a moment. The lights under her skin moved in slow waves. "The Council follows old ways," she finally said. "They believe in keeping distance from other species, especially in matters of personal connection." "And you don't believe that?" Olivia asked. "I believe in following the signs when they appear," Nalari said, "even if they lead down unexpected paths." Before Olivia could ask what signs she meant, they reached the ship's command center. It was a large round room with crystal panels that showed views of space in all directions. Cerulean crew members worked at stations that seemed to be made of the same living crystal as the ship itself. "This is where we will coordinate our defense if the Vespari attack," Nalari said. Olivia looked at the screens showing the 3 Vespari ships. They had not moved closer, but they had not left either. "What do they want?" she asked. "They want to stop what they fear is happening," Nalari said. "Which is what?" Nalari turned to her, silver eyes intense. "A true alliance between our peoples. One that goes beyond politics." That night, Olivia had strange dreams. She saw a crystal city rising from a blue ocean. She felt the pull of 3 moons in the sky. She heard songs in a language she didn't know but somehow understood. When she woke, her skin tingled as if electricity had passed through it. She was still thinking about the dream when her door chimed. It was Dr. Zira, the Cerulean medical officer. She was shorter than Nalari, with lighter blue skin and white hair that seemed to float around her head like it was underwater. "Liaison Reed," she said. "Admiral Vex asked me to check on you." She sensed disturbances in your sleep patterns. Olivia frowned. She sensed my sleep patterns? How is that possible? Dr. Zira's skin flickered with quick patterns. "May I scan you? It will not hurt." Curious and a little worried, Olivia agreed. Dr. Zira held up a crystal device that hummed softly as she moved it around Olivia's head. The doctor's eyes widened. "Extraordinary," she whispered. "What? What's wrong with me?" "Nothing is wrong," Dr. Zira said. "But your neural patterns are showing signs of cerulean ancestral memory access. This has never happened in a human before." "Ancestral memory? I don't understand." "Ceruleans pass memories through generations," Dr. Zira explained. "We can access the experiences of our ancestors. Somehow you are accessing cerulean memories. Were you dreaming of a crystal city on an ocean?" Olivia gasped. "Yes." "How did you know?" "That is Vexharia, the ancient home of Admiral Vex's family line." Dr. Zira studied her scanner again. "I must report this to the Admiral." After Dr. Zira left, Olivia tried to make sense of what was happening. How could she access cerulean memories? And why was Nalari able to sense her dreams? She didn't have long to wonder. The station alarms blared to life. Her communication device flashed with an emergency message. "Vespari attack in progress. All personnel to emergency stations." Olivia rushed to the diplomatic quarters where she was supposed to meet Nalari. As she turned a corner, a massive explosion rocked the station. The lights flickered and emergency barriers began to close. She was running toward the meeting point when a section of the ceiling collapsed in front of her. Olivia stumbled back, but not fast enough. A piece of metal struck her shoulder, sending her to the floor. Through the smoke and sparks, she saw a tall blue figure moving toward her with incredible speed. Nalari reached her in seconds, kneeling beside her. "Are you hurt?" the Admiral asked, her voice tight with concern. "My shoulder." Olivia winced. "I think it's just bruised." Nalari helped her up, but as another explosion shook the station, the Admiral pulled Olivia against her body. Olivia watched in amazement as Nalari's skin hardened, becoming like the crystal of her ship. The Admiral's body became a shield around her as debris fell around them. When it stopped, Nalari pulled back slightly, but kept one arm around Olivia's waist. "We must get to the emergency shuttles," she said. "The Vespari are targeting the diplomatic section first. They know what they're doing." As they moved through the damaged corridors, Olivia noticed something strange. Where Nalari's skin had touched her arm, faint blue patterns had appeared on her own skin. They glowed softly like tiny stars under her skin. "Admiral," she said, showing her arm. "What is this?" Nalari looked at the patterns, and for the first time, Olivia saw what looked like fear in those silver eyes. "It is happening faster than I expected," Nalari said. "We must reach my ship. You will be safer there." "Safer from what?" "The Vespari?" Nalari's grip on her tightened slightly. "From them, yes. But also from what is happening between us. Something that has not happened between our species before." Before Olivia could ask more questions, they reached an emergency airlock. Through the window, she could see the midnight tier connected to the station by a docking tube. "My crew will protect you," Nalari said as she opened the airlock. "Protect me from what?" Olivia demanded. "What's happening to me? Why can I see your ancestral memories? Why does my skin glow where you touched me?" For a moment, Nalari was silent. The patterns under her skin moved rapidly, like she was having an internal battle. "Because," she finally said, "you and I are forming a connection that should be impossible. A connection the Vespari have feared for centuries, and they have come to stop it before it is complete." Safe aboard the Midnight Tear, Olivia watched through the crystal viewports as Earth's defense ships engaged the Vespari vessels. Bright beams of energy crisscrossed the darkness of space. The space station had taken damage, but most people had evacuated safely. Nalari stood beside her, giving orders to her crew in the musical Cerulean language. The blue patterns on Olivia's arm where Nalari had touched her still glowed faintly. She could feel a strange warmth spreading from them, moving slowly up her arm and toward her heart. "Admiral," a Cerulean officer called out, "Earth's defense fleet requests our assistance. Their weapons are not penetrating the Vesperi shields." Nalari nodded. "Prepare main crystal arrays. Target Vespari engines only. We want to disable, not destroy." The officer looked surprised. "But Admiral, Cerulean protocol for Vespari engagement is total elimination. They are too dangerous to—" "I said disable." Nalari cut him off. Her skin flashed with bright patterns that made the officer step back. "We are guests in Earth's system. We follow their rules of engagement." Olivia watched as the Midnight Tier moved into attack position. The ship's crystal weapons glowed brighter, then fired streams of blue energy at the Vespari ships. Unlike Earth's weapons, these beams cut through the enemy shields like they weren't there. 2 of the Vesperi ships lost power and began to drift. The third turned and fled, jumping to faster-than-light speed before the Midnight Tier could target it. "They will be back," Nalari said quietly. "With more ships." Olivia turned to her.
"Why, what do they want?"
Instead of answering, Nalari gestured for Olivia to follow her. They walked through crystal corridors until they reached what appeared to be Nalari's private quarters. The room was large but simple, with few decorations except for a wall covered in crystal shards arranged in patterns Olivia couldn't understand. As the door closed behind them, Olivia stopped. "No more evasions, Admiral. I deserve answers. These dreams, these marks on my skin, what's happening to me?" Nalari's silver eyes studied her for a long moment. Then she sat down and motioned for Olivia to do the same. "What do you know about Cerulean biology?" Nalari asked. "Not much," Olivia admitted. "Your species is crystalline-based rather than carbon-based. You live much longer than humans. You can access ancestral memories." "Yes," Nalari nodded. "But there is something else. Something we do not share widely." She paused, her skin patterns moving slowly. "The Cerulean people are dying." Olivia blinked in surprise. "Dying? But your empire spans 7 galaxies. You have technology we can barely understand. Numbers and technology cannot save us from our own biology," Nalari said. Her voice was heavy with sadness. "For the past 3,000 years, our reproduction rates have fallen. Each generation is smaller than the last. Our scientists discovered the problem centuries ago: genetic degradation. Our DNA equivalent is breaking down." "Is that why you've rejected so many suitors?" Olivia asked. "Because they all carry this genetic problem?" "Yes." Nalari's skin pulsed with what looked like surprise. "You understand quickly. Every match proposed to me carried the same fatal flaw. A union with any of them would only create offspring with the same degradation. But what does this have to do with me? With humans?" Nalari stood and walked to a crystal panel on the wall. She touched it and images appeared. Complex strands of what must be Cerulean genetic code. Spinning slowly. 50 years ago, when humans first reached beyond your solar system, we obtained samples of your DNA. Our scientists made an extraordinary discovery." She touched the panel again, and human DNA appeared beside the Cerulean code. Certain humans carry genetic sequences that could potentially repair our degradation. Olivia stared at the display. "So you came to Earth looking for these humans? For what, donors?" "No," Nalari shook her head. "It is not so simple. The repair can only happen through a natural resonance bond. It cannot be engineered in a lab. It requires a perfect match between a Cerulean and a human, and that match must form naturally." Olivia looked down at the blue patterns on her arm. "And you think I'm your match?" "I know you are," Nalari said softly. "From the moment I saw you, my body recognized yours. The dreams you are having, the marks on your skin, these are signs of the resonance forming. So you chose me as your liaison because of my DNA?" Olivia felt a surge of anger. "You're using me to save your species?" "No." Nalari moved closer, her skin flashing with bright patterns. "I did not know it would be you until we met. I have visited 27 planets with human colonies over the past 30 years. I have met thousands of humans. None showed any sign of resonance." Olivia stood up, needing space. "And the Vesperi? Where do they fit into this?" Nalari's expression darkened. "The Vesperi have known about the potential Cerulean-human compatibility for centuries. They have worked to keep our species apart, spreading lies, creating conflicts. They fear what might happen if Carolines find a way to survive and thrive again. Why would they care if your species survives? Because long ago, before the degradation began, Ceruleans were more powerful than you can imagine. We had abilities that have since been lost. The Vespari fear those abilities returning. Olivia paced the room, trying to process everything. So the Vespari attacked because they somehow knew about our resonance? Yes, they have ways of detecting such things. They monitor all Cerulean diplomatic missions, especially to human worlds. Olivia stopped and faced Nalari. You still haven't told me everything. What exactly is this resonance doing to me? Am I going to turn blue and grow 7 feet tall? For the first time, Nalari made that crystal bell sound of laughter. No, the changes are more subtle. Your neural patterns are adapting to receive Cerulean ancestral memories. Your cellular structure is becoming more compatible with ours, but you will remain human. And what happens if this resonance completes? What does that mean for you and me? Nalari's skin pattern slowed, becoming almost still. If you choose to complete the bond, our genetic materials would blend in a way that could create a template for healing my species. It would also create a permanent connection between us. We would share thoughts, memories, sensations. Like a marriage? Olivia asked. More than any human marriage, more than any Cerulean union. It would be something new. Olivia sat back down, feeling overwhelmed. And if I refuse? If I don't want this connection? Then the resonance will fade over time, Nalari said. The marks will disappear. The dreams will stop. I would not force this on you, Olivia Reed. The choice must be yours. The use of her first name startled Olivia. Until now, Nalari had always called her Liaison Reed. Why me? She asked quietly. Out of all humans, why am I compatible with you? Nalari moved to sit beside her, close but not touching. Our scientists have theories. They believe that certain traumatic events can alter human DNA in ways that make it more receptive to Cerulean resonance. Olivia thought about her past. Losing her parents. In a shuttle accident when she was 12, growing up in state care, fighting her way through academy on scholarships. So my pain made me compatible with you? Not just pain, Nalari said. Resilience, adaptation, survival. The very qualities that make humanity interesting to us. A communication panel on the wall chimed. Nalari touched it and a Cerulean officer appeared. Admiral, Earth's military command requests your presence at a strategy meeting. The Vespari ship that escaped has returned with a fleet of 7 vessels. Tell them I will join shortly, Nalari said. After the officer disappeared, she turned back to Olivia. I must go, but there is one more thing you should know. What's that? The Vespari will not stop. They will destroy this planet if necessary to prevent our resonance from completing. Nalari's silver eyes were intense, but I will not let that happen. I did not search for centuries only to lose you now. As Nalari moved toward the door, Olivia called after her. Admiral Nalari, I need time to think about all this, Nalari paused. Time is something the Vespari will not give us. But I understand. Her skin pulsed with gentle patterns. Rest here. You are safer on my ship than anywhere else right now. After Nalari left, Olivia lay on the strange crystal bed, staring at the blue marks on her arm. They had spread further now, reaching her shoulder. She could feel the warmth they generated. Not uncomfortable, but definitely not normal. She thought about what Nalari had told her. A dying alien species. A genetic match that could save them. A connection deeper than marriage. And somewhere out there, a fleet of ships commanded by aliens who would rather destroy Earth than let this connection form. It was too much. Yet as she closed her eyes, exhausted from the day's events, she found herself once again dreaming of crystal cities and 3 moons in an alien sky. Only this time she wasn't just watching. She was there, walking beside a tall blue figure whose hand was entwined with hers, their skin glowing where they touched. Olivia woke to the sound of alarms. For a moment she didn't know where she was. Then she remembered. She was on the midnight tear in Nalari's ship. The blue patterns had spread while she slept. They now covered her entire left arm and shoulder, and were starting to cross her chest. She quickly put on the fresh uniform someone had left for her, and hurried out of the room. Cerulean crew members rushed through the crystal corridors, their skin patterns flashing with urgent messages to each other. One of them, a young-looking female, stopped when she saw Olivia. Her silver eyes widened at the sight of the blue patterns on Olivia's skin. The bonding is progressing, she said in accented English. The Admiral will want to see you. Follow me. She led Olivia to the command center. Through the crystal viewports, Olivia could see the space around Earth filled with ships. Earth's defense fleet was in formation, alongside the Midnight Tear and two other Cerulean vessels that must have arrived while she slept. Facing them was a much larger fleet of Vespari ships, at least 20 dark-pointed vessels that looked like obsidian knives cutting through space. Nalari stood at the center of the command room. When she saw Olivia, her skin lit up with bright patterns before settling back to its normal glow. "The patterns have spread," Nalari said, looking at Olivia's arm and shoulder. "Yes. What does that mean?" Before Nalari could answer, a large screen activated at the front of the room. On it appeared a Vespari. Olivia had never seen one before. It had gray-green skin with black markings, 4 yellow eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose. Its mouth was wide and filled with small, sharp teeth. "Admiral Vex," the Vespari said in a hissing voice. "This is General Zorax of the Vespari Collective. You know why we are here." "I know you have violated Earth's territory without provocation," Nalari replied coolly. Zorax's yellow eyes narrowed. "Do not play games, Admiral. Our sensors detect the resonance bond forming. You have found your human match." His eyes shifted to Olivia standing beside Nalari. "This one, yes? How interesting that after centuries of searching, the mighty Nalari Vex bonds with a simple diplomatic officer." Olivia felt Nalari stiffen beside her. The Admiral's skin flashed with angry patterns. "State your purpose, General," Nalari said, "or remove your fleet from Earth space." "My purpose is simple," Zorax said. "Surrender all Ceruleans in this system to us, or we will destroy this planet. The humans have 1 hour to decide if one alien is worth their world." The screen went black. Nalari turned to her officers. "Prepare all weapons. Coordinate with Earth's fleet. We will not surrender." Olivia grabbed Nalari's arm. "You can't let them destroy Earth for your sake. There are billions of people here." "They will not destroy your world," Nalari said firmly. "That is a bluff. They want me and you. The rest is just leverage." Commander Linda Carter's face appeared on a smaller screen. "Admiral Vex, we need to talk. Earth Security Council is meeting now to discuss the Vespari ultimatum." "I will join you," Nalari said. She turned to Olivia. "You should come too. This concerns you as much as anyone." They took a shuttle back to what remained of the space station. The diplomatic section had been heavily damaged in the first attack, so the meeting was held in the military command center. Earth's highest-ranking officials were there, some in person and others attending via secure video links. When Olivia walked in with Nalari, conversations stopped. Everyone stared at the blue patterns now clearly visible on her neck and the side of her face. "What is happening to Liaison Reed?" Commander Carter asked, her voice sharp with concern. Dr. Zira stepped forward. She had been examining scans on a crystal tablet. "The resonance bond is progressing rapidly, faster than any recorded case in Cerulean history." "Will it harm her?" Carter demanded. "No," Dr. Zira said, "but it is changing her on a cellular level, and it is changing the Admiral as well." She showed them another scan. Nalari's crystalline body structure was developing new patterns, new connections. "This is all very fascinating," said General Harris, Earth's military commander. "But we have more urgent matters. The Vespari have given us 1 hour to hand over all Ceruleans. That deadline is in 20 minutes. We cannot give in to their demands," Nalari said. "Easy for you to say," someone muttered. "It's not your planet at risk." Nalari's skin flashed with anger. "The Vespari will not stop with Ceruleans. If they succeed here, they will see Earth as weak. They will return with more demands, more threats. You will never be free of them." "What about this resonance bond?" Carter asked, looking at Olivia. "Is that what they're really after?" "Yes," Nalari said. "They fear what it means," "Which is what exactly?" General Harris pressed. "We need the full truth, Admiral." Nalari glanced at Olivia, who nodded. It was time for complete honesty. "The Cerulean people are dying out due to genetic degradation," Nalari explained. "Human DNA contains sequences that could repair our genetic code and save our species. But only through a natural resonance bond, not through lab work." "And Liaison Reed is compatible with you?" Carter asked. "Yes. The first truly compatible human I have found in 3 decades of searching." General Harris frowned. "So the Vespari are willing to destroy Earth to prevent your species from being saved? That seems extreme, even for an enemy." "There is more," Nalari admitted. "In ancient times, before the degradation, Ceruleans had abilities, powers that have since been lost. The Vespari fear those abilities returning. What kind of abilities? Harris asked. Energy manipulation, telepathic connection, enhanced physical properties. The records are incomplete. We know only what has been passed down through ancestral memory. And they think this bond with Liaison Reed will bring these powers back? They fear it might, Nalari said. Especially because the bond is forming so strongly and quickly. Olivia, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. There's something else happening. She held up her hand. Small blue sparks danced between her fingers. I can feel energy moving through me. It started about an hour ago. Dr. Zira rushed over with her scanner. Extraordinary. Your cells are beginning to process energy the way Ceruleans do. A communication officer interrupted. General, the Vespari are hailing us again. 5 minutes until their deadline. General Harris looked at Nalari, then at Olivia with her blue-marked skin and sparking fingers. What do you suggest we do, Admiral? You seem to be the expert on these Vespari. Fight, Nalari said simply. Show them that humans and Ceruleans stand together. My ship's weapons can penetrate their shields. Combined with your fleet's firepower, we can drive them back. And if we lose, if they carry out their threat to destroy Earth, they won't get the chance, Nalari promised. If the battle turns against us, I will surrender myself. That is what they truly want. General Harris nodded slowly. Very well. We fight. He turned to his officers. Prepare all ships. Coordinate attack patterns with the Cerulean vessels. As the meeting broke up, Nalari pulled Olivia aside. I need to return to my ship. The battle will begin soon. I'm coming with you, Olivia said. It is too dangerous. I'm already involved. Olivia cut her off, showing her sparking fingers. Whatever is happening to me, I need to be with you to understand it. Nalari studied her for a moment, then nodded. Very well. As they headed back to the shuttle bay, Dr. Zira caught up with them. Admiral, Liaison Reed's transformation is accelerating. The energy manifestation is just the beginning. I believe the resonance is approaching its peak. So soon? Nalari looked surprised. It usually takes months, even years. There is nothing usual about this bond, Dr. Zira said. It is stronger than any in our records. If it completes during the battle, what? Olivia asked. What happens then? Dr. Zira's skin patterns showed uncertainty. I do not know, but the energy release could be significant. They reached the midnight tier just as the Vespari deadline expired. From the command center, they watched as the Vespari fleet began to move. Earth ships and the Cerulean vessels formed a defensive line. They're targeting us specifically, a Cerulean officer reported as sensor data flowed across his crystal console. 6 ships moving to cut us off from Earth's fleet. They know we're the biggest threat, Nalari said. And they know you're on board, she added to Olivia. The battle began. Energy weapons flashed across space. The midnight tier shook as Vespari weapons struck its crystal shields. Shields at 80%, an officer called out. Returning fire. The ship's crystal weapons fired, cutting through a Vespari vessel's shields and disabling its engines. But there were many more enemy ships. Admiral, another officer called. 3 Vespari boarding craft are approaching our lower docking bay. Nalari's skin flashed with alarm. Seal all internal doors. Security teams to the lower levels. She turned to Olivia. They're coming for us. For you. Olivia looked down at her hands. The energy sparks were stronger now, forming small arcs between her fingers. The blue patterns had spread across her chest and down her right arm as well. What's happening to me? She whispered. The resonance is completing itself, Nalari said. Faster than I ever thought possible. A massive explosion rocked the ship. Alarms blared throughout the command center. Vespari forces have breached the lower hull, an officer shouted. They're inside the ship! Nalari grabbed Olivia's hand. Energy crackled where their skin touched. Come with me. There's one place on this ship they cannot reach. 3 weeks after the battle, Earth's orbital station was nearly repaired. The Vespari fleet had been towed to a safe distance and kept under guard, while diplomatic talks continued. None of the Vespari had died in the energy wave from Olivia and Nalari's bonding, but it had taken days for them to recover. Olivia stood at a viewport in the newly rebuilt diplomatic section, looking out at the stars. The blue patterns on her skin had settled into permanent markings that covered about half her body, in swirling designs like living tattoos. They no longer glowed constantly, but would light up when she used the energy abilities she was still learning to control. She felt Nalari's approach before she heard her. Their mental connection had also settled into something manageable, not a constant flow of thoughts, but a warm awareness of each other's presence and feelings. The Cerulean High Council has arrived, Nalari said as she came to stand beside Olivia. They want to meet you. Olivia turned to face her. In the weeks since their bonding, she had grown accustomed to seeing the world through both her own eyes and, sometimes, through Nalari's silver ones. It was strange, but also wonderful. Are they angry about what you did? Olivia asked. Breaking tradition by bonding with a human? Nalari's skin patterns showed amusement. They were at first, but it is hard to argue with results. She gestured at the peaceful space around them. We defeated a Vespari fleet without destroying a single ship, and the genetic template from our bond has already shown promise in initial tests. Those tests had been another surprise. The day after their bonding, Dr. Zira had taken samples from both of them. What she found had shocked the Cerulean scientific community. The resonance had created a new genetic pattern that combined elements of both species. When applied to degraded Cerulean genetic material, it began to repair the damage immediately. Do you ever regret it? Olivia asked quietly. Bonding with me? You're stuck with a human now. Nalari's hand found hers, their fingers intertwining. Where they touched, a soft blue glow appeared. I searched for you across 27 worlds for 30 years, Olivia Reed. Finding you was worth every moment of that search. Through their bond, Olivia could feel the truth of those words. She squeezed Nalari's hand. Then let's go meet your council. The Cerulean High Council had set up in the station's largest conference room. 5 senior Ceruleans sat at a crystal table they had brought with them. They all had blue skin of varying shades, but their patterns were slower, more regular than Nalari's. They looked ancient, even though they appeared physically youthful. As Olivia entered with Nalari, all 5 council members rose to their feet. This was a sign of respect she hadn't expected. High Admiral Vex, said the oldest-looking council member, a male with deep blue skin and white hair, and Liaison Reed, or should I say bondmate Reed. Elder Sin, Nalari greeted him with a bow. May I present Olivia Reed of Earth, my bonded partner and genetic match. Elder Sin studied Olivia with curious silver eyes. The patterns on your skin are remarkable, may I? He gestured, asking permission to look closer. Olivia nodded and stepped forward. Elder Sin examined the blue markings on her arms and the side of her face. In all our records, there has never been a cross-species bond like this, he said. Yet the patterns are clearly Cerulean. They match Admiral Vex's family line. He looked up at Olivia's face. What is it like, human, to carry Cerulean energy within you? It's like having a new sense, Olivia tried to explain. I can feel energy around me, shape it, direct it. And I can access memories that aren't mine, glimpses of Cerulean history through Nalari's ancestral line. Extraordinary, Elder Sin murmured. And the genetic template your bond created? Our scientists say it could save our people from extinction. Another council member, a female with lighter blue skin and sharp features, spoke up. What the Elder is not saying is that your bond has also confirmed a theory some of us have held for centuries. She looked at Nalari. You were right to search among the humans, Admiral. The genetic similarities are too specific to be coincidence. Olivia frowned. What do you mean? Nalari turned to her. There is something I haven't told you yet. Something I only suspected until the bond confirmed it. Her skin patterns showed nervousness, an emotion Olivia rarely saw in her. Humans and Ceruleans share a distant evolutionary ancestor. That's impossible, Olivia said. We evolved on different planets in different star systems. And yet the evidence is in your DNA and now in our bond, Nalari said. Our scientists believe that long ago a spacefaring civilization, perhaps our common ancestors, spread throughout this part of the galaxy. Over millions of years, those settlers evolved differently based on their environments. On Earth, they became human. On Cerulean, they became us. Elder Sin nodded. The Vespari have known this secret for millennia. They have systematically worked to keep our species apart, fearing what might happen if we rediscovered our connection. Why would they fear that? Olivia asked. Because of what you and Nalari did to their fleet, said the female council member. The power of a true Cerulean human bond. It was not just a legend, as many of us believed. Nalari's hand found Olivia's again. In ancient times, before the genetic degradation began, there are stories of Ceruleans with abilities far beyond what we have now. The ability to manipulate energy on a massive scale, to communicate across vast distances, to heal or to harm with a thought. The Vespari rose to power during the time of our decline, Elder Sin added. They have worked for centuries to keep us weakened, to prevent us from reclaiming our former strength. They feared what would happen if we found a way to repair the degradation. And now we have, Nalari said, looking at Olivia with silver eyes full of emotion that flowed through their bond. Yes, Elder Sin agreed. Thanks to your bond, we have a template for genetic repair. But there is something else. He glanced at the other council members, who nodded. We would like to offer Earth a formal alliance, not just diplomatic, but genetic as well. What does that mean? Olivia asked. We have identified other potential cerulean human compatible pairs, the female council member explained. Not as strong a match as you and Nalari, but compatible nonetheless. With Earth's permission, we would like to invite these humans to consider bonding with compatible ceruleans. To save your species, Olivia said. To save both our species, Nalari corrected. The bond works both ways, Olivia. You have gained abilities from me, but I have gained things from you as well. Greater emotional range, faster adaptation to new situations. These are human traits that Cerulans have lost over millennia of degradation. Olivia considered this. In the weeks since their bonding, she had noticed changes in Nalari. More expressiveness, more flexibility in her thinking. She had assumed it was just Nalari becoming more comfortable with her, but maybe it was more. I can't speak for all of Earth, Olivia said carefully, but I think many humans would be open to learning more about this possibility. That is all we ask, Elder Sin said with a bow of his head. For now. The meeting continued, discussing practical matters of how to present this opportunity to Earth's governments and people, how to identify compatible individuals, how to explain the changes that would happen to them if they chose to bond with a Cerulean. After the council members left to prepare for a larger meeting with Earth officials, Olivia and Nalari took a walk through the repaired sections of the station. Through the viewports they could see Earth below, beautiful and blue. What happens now? Olivia asked. Will you stay here or will I go with you to Cerulean worlds? Both, I hope, Nalari said. My duties as High Admiral require travel, but Earth will be an important part of our lives. It is your home. She paused, looking out at the planet, and perhaps, in a way, once long ago it was my ancestors' home too. Olivia leaned against her tall blue partner, feeling the warmth of her crystalline skin. Through their bond, she could sense Nalari's contentment and hope for the future. The Vespari won't give up, Olivia said. They'll try again to stop what's happening between our species. Yes, Nalari agreed. But they will find us much stronger when they return. She looked down at Olivia, her silver eyes bright. What we created together, it is just the beginning. 6 months later, the first child of a human Cerulean bond was born. A girl with faint blue patterns on her skin and eyes that shifted between human colors and cerulean silver. Her genetic test showed no signs of degradation, and her cells processed energy in ways neither human nor cerulean scientists fully understood yet. She was the first of what would become known as the new Genesis, children of two worlds that had been separated for millions of years and were now rejoined. By her first birthday, there were 12 more such children. By her 10th, nearly 1,000. And on distant Vespari worlds, their leaders watched with growing alarm as the ancient power they had worked so hard to suppress began to rise again. A power born from the most unexpected of unions, an alien admiral who had rejected every suitable match of her own kind, only to find her perfect partner in a human woman who had never imagined her destiny would extend beyond the stars. Olivia Reed and Nalari Vex had created more than a bond between themselves. They had created the future for both their peoples, a future the Vespari had feared for millennia, and one that would change the course of galactic history forever.